Praying for justice.
Speaking of justice, there's people already speaking how associates on Diddy's side is begging Trump to pardon Diddy.
Are you serious?
Two things I gotta say to that. One,
oh my god,
this is already telling me y'all know he gonna lose. This is already telling me y'all know he gonna lose. Cause why y'all asking for a pardon without a fucking verdict? Two. Now you laughing, awkward laughing, uncomfortably laughing.
No.
This the kind of beat to go, this the kind of beat to go, this the kind of beat to go, rock, top, top. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah.
Welcome to the Petty Headquarters. I'm your host, Tiana Locke, and this is
Jesse Strange.
And we are back at it again with another video. And this time we are going to be talking about something that is extremely heavy and that is prevalent in the media right now. Everyone knows about this Diddy case that is ongoing at the moment, as well as everything with Cassie and all of the alleged rumors that took place. Alleged, but you already know how that goes. So we are going to be talking about it and kind of just like having conversation about it and giving just our opinions about it. This is not going to be a whole deep dive. This is not going to be something that's educational, so to speak, but I guess it can be for some people, but you know what I mean. So without further ado, do you have anything you want to say before?
Yeah, I'd like to make a disclaimer. So we will be talking about sensitive topics that are triggering, can be triggering. So this is your warning. There are a lot of sensitive topics that will be mentioned here. So please, if you're not into this stuff, don't watch it. This is the first time we're going to ask you, I mean, we'll let you know, shit like that. Like, it's just,
yeah, it's
sensitive, it's dark, but we've been keeping up with it. It's a lot, it's crazy. And yeah, I am ready to, I guess, talk about it.
Yeah, I, for one, am not excited about it. So I am just going to be, if you're the type of person, you have emotional outbursts, I will represent for you. She will represent for, I guess, the other side of it. What would you call that? What would you call that side?
Just being informed.
Yeah, that. Me, I don't care. Anywho, I do, but it's like I get mad. So yeah, without further ado, let's just dive into this week's dose of mess. So do you want to tell the people what's going on?
I mean, let's just start with the fact that it's been the first week. All right. The first week has officially ended in the courts, and it's been wild. Like, to think that this lawsuit is going to go until July, and we've only been on week 1 and have heard some crazy things. It's pretty insane to me, to be honest with you. It's just a lot.
Yeah. So what were like some of the things that were like said?
All right. So, I mean, let's start off with the first, few things, I guess. The first few days, they had the security guard who ended up being a witness for that hotel video that came out. He spoke out. I know that there was a sex worker that came out and spoke out, but I'd like to, I guess, jump straight into Cassie being their number one, not witness. What is it called? Victim. I guess that's testifying against him. And I think it's just interesting because, first of all, let's talk about the fact that his kids are in the courtroom listening to the explicit messages, listening to the things that their father has done to this woman or is being accused. I mean, either way, they saw the video, the 15-minute unedited video. So whether or not the other stuff they want to believe it, there's a video you cannot deny. And to think that even his young twin daughters, like, they're there looking at that shit. To me, I just didn't understand what was the point of the defense to have them there. Like, because I feel like it looks bad to have your daughter sitting there, you know. I don't know.
They probably thought it would work in their favor to make him seem more human in a sense. Like, oh, he's a family man. Like, we need to, you know, show this side of him to appeal to people's emotions.
Right. But I don't think it hit the way it was supposed to.
No.
Because if I was in the juror, I'd be like, looking over at your daughters, like, you really have them sitting here listening to this? What kind of father are you, is what I would be thinking.
Yeah. And I even heard that they had walked out,
yes,
you know, mid listening to what happened to Cassie. And honestly, I don't blame them. But
they actually didn't show up in the last few days of court.
Thank God. And I was wondering too if they had went back, or if I know they had went back after walking out, but in terms of the rest of the hearing and all of that stuff, were they present?
I think the last 2 days, meaning Thursday and Friday, I don't think they were there.
Okay. So I guess that's refreshing.
Yeah. But I mean, the things we found out throughout this whole week is just insane. Like, we find out, I guess, how much of a monster Diddy is. And it's just crazy to me because I've been dying to talk about this. So, like, the more and more we see the picture of who he is as a person, and, you know, they love to downplay this whole situation. A lot of people who are defending Diddy are like, you guys are just have a case on the kinks that he has as a man, but I think it's way deeper than that, and people want to downplay that.
Right.
But I think what's even crazier is that this is the same man that Jay-Z was all buddy with, and everyone's forgetting about Jay-Z. And I think it's so fucking funny how, like, tell me who your friends are and I'm gonna tell you who you are. Why are we not saying that same thing? I said it just recently in the Baddies episode, you know, about Lex and Summer. That doesn't mean no one's safe, man. That's the same. It goes all across the board here, okay? Why is no one talking about Jay-Z? And I think it's so interesting because it's like, you know, it was so cool to be Diddy's friend, and them two were powerful together, and he stood proud by his boy. And all of a sudden now it's crickets. And the only person who keeps reminding us about their friendship is none other than 50 Cent.
That's crazy. Yo, he would always take it upon himself to do something totally petty just to be in the fucking limelight, to say some dumb shit. But, you know, after hearing some of the explicit things that, you know, was done to Cassie, you know, with these freak offs and, you know, these, even at some point, you know, him having her organize these freak offs and get these male escorts, and just all of the horrific things that we heard from, of course, her getting physically abused, sexually abused, but also having these escorts finish in her, and then Diddy wanting that fluid to be rubbed on his chest. Like, you know, they do recant some of those things, you know, in court, and it's just like so vivid and so disgusting to even fucking listen to and to hear that. For me, I'm just like, I get depressed because I'm like, I can't even picture those things. Don't even cross my mind. Like, I can't even write about stuff like that. So it's like the fact that that was something that occurred and that happened, and it's fucked up because my mind can't even fathom, like, just a little bit of that, just that little piece that you're hearing. I heard it and I was just super fucking confused, and just disgusted about everything.
Just trying to, like, get into the mind of, like, this, who thinks like that?
A demon.
Right.
A demon.
And, you know, speaking of demons, so we were watching the video from The Truth Is, you know, I love his channel and I'll always, you know, shout him out. He made a good point, and it was about Diddy, and it's about, you know, some of the exactly what you spoke about. So he calls it what it is in what is that? Delima, in a Delima practice, which is basically
sex magic, and basically is what they do. And
a part of that is when you have the semen rubbed on your chest and just having other people's fluids on you, it is a practice
to bring you closer to I don't know, evil spirits to grant your wishes. I have no idea. Again, this is all, I have no idea.
Yeah.
If you want to look at The Truth Is His video, he basically talks about these freak offs being sex rituals. And honestly, just listening to everything from what, you know, we've been listening to with the case, the courts, and then listening to The Truth Is, I am not surprised. I'm a very spiritual person. So like for me, it's so eerie. I get so uncomfortable. Like, and even listening to the possibility of this being connected to alleged rituals. I mean, given all of the stuff that we've seen, we've heard from Hollywood so far, people have been talking about this for years. I will not be surprised if there's a connection to that, because at the end, I don't want to get all spiritual on y'all, but like at the end of the day, you know, when people talk about the music industry, they're always talking about how there's like some type of connection to some type of occult. There's some type of connection to just all of these people in the industry. It may not be everybody, but like a lot of them,
The powerful ones.
yes, the powerful ones kind of at some point selling their soul or sacrificing something to get to that level of fame. And not for nothing, but Satan was the god of music, you know, and fallen angel, and he once was in heaven. A lot of people love to forget that. But, you know, that is just stuff that I think about. So even just hearing about like these vivid, like just acts of abuse that was just done to Cassie just makes me feel super uncomfortable, because I can't even understand that.
Yeah.
Who would want to do something like that?
That evil.
That
Like,
evil.
to think about this poor woman having had so much oral sex that she had sores in her mouth, and that the UTIs were so bad and so reoccurring that even the antibacterial that you get for UTIs no longer worked on your body.
And you still had to do those freak offs.
Where some of them lasted 4 days straight. Where you would get bags of fucking vitamins to rejuvenate your body because it was that abused, and you're telling me that someone just made that up?
Yeah.
That she's lying?
No.
Who thinks like that? Who lies like that? Like, tell me, with the amount of specific details this
Very
woman has
vivid.
given.
Yeah.
But, and it's crazy because it's like the defense doesn't deny that there were freak offs, but they want to say that she was a willing participant in the freak offs, right? Because this isn't a case about domestic violence. This is a case of human trafficking.
Right.
And a lot of people get trafficking confused because they think that it's, you know, like the movies where it's like actual trafficking, where you take a person and you move them for transportation, but it's actually a lot deeper. It's not the transportation of a person. It's a coercion. It's a few different tiers that add up to racketeering and trafficking. So it's like a big operation. So I just wanted to clear that up because, again, a lot of people are like, well, this isn't a domestic violence case. It's not about that.
Right.
It's not denying. They're trying to prove whether or not she was coerced or she was a willing participant in the freak offs and in this whole, I guess, thing.
And, you know, that's what kind of makes me a little just scared for this whole case, because I feel like if that is the main thing that they're trying to prove, it makes me scared, because it's like, are they going to side with the defense in regard to that, since she willingly participated, you know? And I feel like that's where it gets a little blurry. But someone can still be abused, you know, and go through all of these things, even if they willingly participated once or twice. So I feel like that shouldn't even be a deciding factor, but I'm worried that that may be like a deciding factor.
Well, you know, the thing about this whole situation is that if it was an abuse case, then a DA, a domestic abuse case, then it would be brought to the state on a state level. But because it's racketeering, they wanted to bring it to a federal level, which is what happened, where he got raided and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I know that this week was pretty pretty intense. The prosecution definitely did their thing. You know, I know that the defense didn't want Cassie coming out. She's 8 months pregnant. They didn't want her coming out showing her belly because they felt like her showing her belly would make the jurors empathize with her more, because this is a pregnant woman and look at her now. You're seeing her get abused when she was younger, and now look at her. So you empathize more with the jury. The jury empathizes more in general when you see a pregnant woman, but the judge denied that. She was allowed to walk out, show her belly and everything. And this whole thing is all about psychological games and, manipulative tactics at the end of the day, because, the defense came out the last 2 days, and I wanted to cover this episode only after I heard both sides. Hearing the defense argument, they even admitted that he was a violent man, which goes to show you they don't have shit.
They don't. They know he going to jail.
No, they ain't got shit. Like, they try to play sneaky tactics where they try to give last minute. They wanted to ambush the prosecution with 400. I guess they want to call them new evidence, but it's called another word. Exhibits, they call them. And it's just whatever. All my lawyers out there can explain it, but it's just evidence. It's evidence, but through a system. Okay, but anyways, they wanted to ambush the prosecution. And basically, they just tried to be strategic. So then they also wanted to extend Cassie's time. They wanted her to come back Monday, which would risk the chances of a mistrial because she is close to having her baby.
Right.
So anyways, all these tactics that they're playing, they also made her read a lot of text messages back and forth, but just to waste time. They were trying to play these games. But the thing is, and they were able to prove, right, that there were moments where she wanted the freak-offs. She openly admits that, even when she was married, she saw Diddy again. And, there was a moment where she was already dating her now husband, Alex Fine, and then he R-worded her and then still went back and had sex with him after that, a few days, time after that. And all that is true. But I just want to make it clear that just because you say yes to one night, that doesn't mean that that's permission for your entire life of knowing me, right? Like your boyfriend can R-word you. Right. Because if you say no, whether or not he's your boyfriend, that doesn't give him automatic permission to go anyways. Right. So just because you may have given him consent, these text messages that they want to prove on those days, that doesn't mean that she wasn't R-worded that day that she mentioned. That doesn't mean that, the days that she's describing of her having sores in her mouth and still having to participate, that didn't exist. That still is true. Both can be true at the same time. Right. Like, have y'all not ever heard of Stockholm Syndrome? Do you know what that is?
Isn't that when people go back to their abuser?
Yes. We'll read it real quick. Stockholm Syndrome is a psychological coping mechanism that can develop in victims of captivity or abuse, causing them to identify with and develop positive feelings towards their captors. It's not a formal diagnosis, but rather a psychological concept used to explain certain reactions. So all those times where she said that she felt bad for him, or, she was sorry because you develop this trauma bond with your abuser, and he groomed her. He been around since she was young, sold her a dream.
She was 19.
And she seems like a people pleaser. Like, you know what I mean? And it makes me sad because I know
it makes me sad too.
A lot of people were saying, "Oh, Cassie, don't piss me off," because there was a question today that was asked where she said something along the lines. Her response was, "I don't hate him," which people were like, "How can you not hate him?" She goes, and then she says something along the lines of, I don't love him, or I don't miss him, but I have love for what it was, or something like that. Like something like along the lines of even her describing her what she feels now is kind of like still like, damn, like you don't hate him, you still remember the good times from the past type shit. You know what I'm saying? It's complex. And then a lot of people were also wondering, like, saying all this shit online, like, oh my God, her husband, he's strong, he saved her. Or they were saying something along the lines of, I wonder how he feels. And it was so annoying because it's like, who the fuck cares how he feels?
Right.
This
He
isn't
wasn't the
about
victim.
him. Right.
Right.
And obviously he knows he married her.
Yeah, exactly.
You think they're going to go to court talking about I swear by the truth and then not know?
Right, right.
Obviously he knows and still chose to be by her side. And I
Right.
think that's quite honorable.
Yeah, because most men won't. Most men will be quick to just,
Judge
her, call her all types of names, call her out her name, and throw her to the wolf, which is Diddy. And they'll only think about their ego and themselves and just cast her out. Like, okay, since you're going back, bye. That's usually what would happen.
Yep. And I would say, like, there was a resurfaced video of Cassie hugging Alex Fine when he ran a 50-mile marathon for domestic violence and stuff like that. But he also came out with a statement today, and I would like to read it. Over the past 5 days, the world has gotten to witness the strength and bravery of my wife, freeing herself of her past. There has been speculation online surrounding how it must feel for me to sit there and listen to my wife's testimony. I have felt so many things sitting there. I have felt tremendous pride and overwhelming love for Cass. I have felt profound anger that she has been subjected to sitting in front of a person who tried to break her. So to him and all of those who helped him along the way, please know this. You did not. You did not break her spirit, nor her smile that lights up every room. You did not break her soul of a mother who gives the best hugs and plays the silliest games with our little girls. You did not break the woman who has made me a better man. I did not save Cassie, as some have said. To say that is an insult of the years of painful work my wife has done to save herself. Cassie has saved Cassie. She alone broke free from abuse, coercion, violence, and threats. She did the work of fighting the demons that only a demon himself could have done to her. All I have done is love her as she has loved me. Her life is now surrounded by love, laughter, and our family. This horrific chapter is forever put behind us, and we will not be making additional statements. We appreciate all of the love and support we have received, and we ask that you respect our privacy as we welcome our son into a world that is now safer because of his mom. Which I thought that was such a fine response, such a gentleman to clarify that she saved herself. Do not take away from the work Cassie had to do to even be brave enough. When you listen to her testimony, like to her responses to the defense, she was so put together, 8 months pregnant. You know they were trying to break her.
They were trying to get a reaction. And honestly, going back to you reading that, it translates to also the public still continuing to talk shit about Cassie, still continuing to basically call her out her name and defend Diddy. It's so weird and it is so ugly how people can see a victim and just be like, well, she chose this and she chose that. Like, it's not cute.
She took the 20 million, so that should have been it.
Like, what are we talking about here? It just feels like it's pure ignorance. It's a lot of people that, just very uneducated, honestly. One, uneducated, and just two, a product of their fucking environment. So they just talk shit and think shit about women all the time and they don't give a fuck. But also just the people defending Diddy and, like, again, going to that narrative like, oh, they're trying to tear a black man down. Please fucking spare me. Please fucking spare me. I am tired of people trying to use race to push an agenda and to prove their point and to push their own narrative. They're not even trying to use it in a positive way, or they're not even trying to raise awareness. They're not trying to fight for something. They're not trying to, do something that's just. They're trying to actually just defend evil actions by bringing up race to, again, like, just narrate this whole thing and push their own agenda, and it really pisses me off. It really pisses me off.
Well, speaking of people, again, going back to giving excuses to men, even to the point where Justin Bieber recently today came out, his team came out to say, like, I was not a victim of Diddy, and you guys are taking away the light from the real victims of him. And I thought it was interesting because it goes back to the same.
His team said that?
Yes, because
What?
And it's finally, because it's true, so many people are concerned about Justin Bieber, but you got Cassie over here telling you the fucking details, and all of a
This
sudden
is crazy.
she took money, so like she's not a victim?
It really is crazy. And I feel like for me, where I'm at, I'm tired of getting worked up about it. Because obviously this is something that always works me up. I'm always going to get worked up. It doesn't matter. But it just really is crazy how, like, when you're a woman, this is just what happens. Because you're worried about Justin, who's a man, more than Cassie, that actually went through all of these. Like, and again, I don't know what Justin went through. That's not to say anything, but it's like the proof is in your face. The video is in your face. You know, all of these vivid like experiences that she's had, these acts of abuse that she's had. It's in your face, and you're still trying to find a way to say she wanted it.
Victim blame.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But with men, that doesn't happen.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I just don't, like, at this point, when I see people like that on the internet, it literally makes no sense to argue. You just see it, scroll past, and you ignore, because your mind will never operate at the level that mine operates. And that's not to be condescending, but that's just a fact. That's just a fact. Mm-hmm. You're low vibrational, okay? And you just will not understand the way I see things. And that's that. Arguing with you will be talking to a wall.
It's just crazy to me, honestly. Like, to just, you have people still protecting him, like you said, right? Mm-hmm. Like when you think about Carisha, when she came out on her podcast.
Yeah, when I think about Carisha, everything just blows up in my head, from all the tweets that she posted, from the argument that she had on Twitter back and forth with Gina, who is his ex-girlfriend, who is also testifying, which you just told me.
Yeah,
which I didn't think she was going to testify, but seeing that she is, wow, this is crazy. And, you know, what I think is crazy is that she tweeted, I don't gotta rap. I'm with a billionaire. I don't gotta rap. Right? You tweeted all this shit, how you don't have to rap. You don't have to do nothing. And you even fucking dragged Gina when y'all went back and forth on the internet talking about Diddy would have you on his knees if I wanted him to, ho. So it's just, to me, I look at Carisha so fucking, different. And to think that she is still out here protecting him is really insane. But at the same time, I'm not fucking surprised, because you're used to that lifestyle. You're used to dealing with bum niggas. You know, isn't your baby daddy like a drug dealer or some shit? Like, I don't even listen. This is going to touch home. I'm sorry in advance. But this, judging from the environment that you are used to, you are clearly used to putting up with bum behavior. You are used to putting up with just that just vile, disgusting experience. You're used to that, right? You're used to the streets. You're used to that. And Diddy, billionaire, right? Hip hop mogul, right? Why the fuck would she care? He's a billionaire. She always talking about tricking and getting money and all that. Why would she care?
Yeah, but it's disgusting and it's embarrassing. It really
is embarrassing.
It's embarrassing. Imagine being, what's her name? The other city girl?
JT.
Imagine just being JT, being like, yo, I was a whole in a band with this bitch. Like, I was a whole city girl with this bitch. And look at her. Like, she really thought she had it all.
I'm so happy JT, like, you know, separated herself from that and even started separating herself, because she saw the vibe. Mm-hmm. She saw the vibe.
And then it's crazy because it's like, JT was smart, right? She saw the vibe, because even I'm thinking about Cassie and how she was explaining how one time, I believe it was in Turks and Caicos, actually, they were in a balcony on vacation and her best friend was with her, and apparently Diddy had thrown her best friend like across the balcony on the furniture and stuff like that, like where the best friend stopped being her friend.
Why the fuck did he do that to her best friend?
He was abusive. He does that to every bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, he does that to bitches when he gets angry. And so, anyways,
clearly he does that to men too.
Well, so I was just thinking, like, it just reminded me, like, JT saved herself, because she would have been dragged into that too if she stuck by Carisha.
But who knows what she's seen?
That's what I'm saying.
So it's like, I don't know anything, but it's really crazy to me to even, I can't be friends with a girl like that. Like, it's too much. It's too much. And to see that, you can tell Carisha, you know, you're not a girl's girl.
Nah,
I don't think JT a girl's girl either, but like just the both of them, like you could tell like that energy. Like you rather pick Diddy over JT, who's been with you when y'all were broke. Like y'all were together when y'all were broke. Like let that sink in. You even waited for JT when she was locked up. You're really gonna ruin a bond over this man, and now you're protecting him still. You're protecting him still. She really liked that Bonnie and Clyde shit.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know. I also heard that Jaguar Wright went today. She showed up. She showed up with 3 bodyguards. Jaguar Wright has been speaking
for years
against Diddy for years.
So you know she got to see this through.
Yo,
she got to live to see this shit through.
For real. So I can't even imagine what it's like to be her, to be the lady that, you know, says that she saw Diddy shoot her in the face. You know what I'm saying? And you know, J-Lo,
all these victims.
J-Lo is shitting bricks.
Of course.
Oh my gosh, she's shitting bricks, man. Imagine going your whole life thinking you're like in your 50s now. Ain't she 50 something? She old.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, imagine thinking you getting away with shit.
Uh-huh.
And all of a sudden, all this shit coming up, bitch, you know you stressed the fuck out.
I know. And it's crazy because you got all this money. You got, you know, all this fame. Yeah, she 55.
Yeah.
She 55
Told
right
you
now.
she the same age as Diddy. Like.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. And, you know, fucking wild, man. It's sad. It really is sad. And to think that, like, this is only the beginning. Yeah. This is only the beginning. Your Lil Rod is projected to testify next week. I think he was subpoenaed to come in. I believe there's rumors that Jonathan Odie's coming. So first of all, if y'all don't know who Jonathan Odie is, Jonathan Odie came out in 2018. He got arrested for, I guess he had a panic attack in California and started shooting in the Trump Hotel, actually. And he was running away from the cops and scared of the cops. He didn't hurt nobody in the hotel, but he was like, I guess, afraid of the cops. But in retrospect, right, he was scared, like trying to shoot the cops. Diddy was connected with the cops.
Right.
Who knows? Because and then when he got arrested, there was a tape of the interrogation. And in that interrogation tape, he says, Rick Ross, Diddy, they're all gay. He's like, they're basically their sex slave. And, you know, he been speaking about this. Mind you, Jonathan Odie's been in jail since 2018. He's had his hearing delayed, time and time again, lost in the system. And there's possibility that Diddy is the reason behind that, because there's no reason why his case should keep being delayed. But you know that system shit. Powerful people have a way of making things happen, just like Jay-Z.
Yo, you on Jay-Z's ass, yo. As you should be, though. I just find it funny. You really not letting up off him.
No. Because it makes me look at the same way I look at Carisha, a certain way. I'm gonna look at Jay-Z. My guy, there's so many photos now. All of a sudden, you don't know him.
They got memory loss. Now that they old, they got memory loss now.
That's great. I'm not dumb, bitch.
Right.
I'm not fucking stupid.
Right.
Okay, like I may not need to know you as a person, but again, y'all was like the closest of the close. From the very beginning. Stop playing with me. Telling me y'all ain't do shit. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah. You know what? Jay-Z is just smarter. And that's the difference. He moved different. Diddy's 55, still playing games. Mr. Carter over here fucking got married, had kids and a family. So he's a little bit more, you know, smarter, calmer, less egotistical with certain things. So he has his shit a little bit more. And I feel like he's a lot more powerful, which is why... You know, he's gotten away with not taking the DNA test for that, his son of his, you know, which is why the victim who came out, you know, against him saying, you know, try to do a lawsuit. Now, all of a sudden she takes it back. Come on. You know why she took it back. Like, all of a sudden.
Yeah.
There's these powerful tactics that they do, and I'm not fucking stupid. You were close to Diddy. You were a bystander. You knew what was happening. You were at all those brunches. You guys went up together.
Right.
Stop fucking playing.
Yeah. And, you know, going back to it, like, what you said with Rick Ross, Diddy, they're all gay. Like, going back to the truth is in his videos, I really do feel like it's more than just them being gay. I really do feel like there's some connection to some evil power here.
But you also make someone vulnerable.
Right.
You take away someone's manhood.
Right.
And they become your, what men would say, your bitch. Like, you know what I mean? So, of course, I can't imagine.
And then, there was also a situation that the Truth Is talks about with, like, back in the days with Usher when he went to Diddy. Like, it's crazy how all these people been talking. Diddy's past security guard was talking for years, going on all these interviews. Nobody took it seriously. And, there was a situation with Usher and Usher's mom, like, slamming Diddy on the internet after Usher was in the hospital because there was pain in his backside. And to this day, obviously no one knows, but everyone speculates that it was Diddy. He went to Diddy camp. He was young, and impressionable and vulnerable. And it's really just this, everything is really fucked up. Like, everything is really fucked up. But I think it's crazy how for some reason they can't find any correlation to him, coercing or, doing these acts of abuse to kids, which I think is interesting. And everything is just super fucked up to me. Like, it's just too much. I feel like it's one of those things, like with Usher, we'll never know.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll never know.
No, not with him. Definitely.
It's done.
But going back to Jonathan Odie, not only was he telling the truth, supposedly he might be coming up to also testify.
Oh, boy.
But during this week, when I forgot who brought it up, but I think it was both the prosecution and the defense, Cassie named him. She knew who he was. She said, I knew him, and she mentioned 2 different names. She knew him as 2 different names, and it was not Jonathan Odie.
Damn.
But she knew him as
those names. Was this the escort?
No, this was not they brought a picture of him and asked him because I think he had recorded she thought he recorded something. So basically, she threatened him or something like that. I think it was the defense that brought it up, tried to paint her out to be an aggressive, jealous, whatever type of woman. And I think she had threatened him, but she knew who he was. And goes back again. He's been speaking since 2018. The other lady who got shot in the face has been speaking since she's got shot in the face.
Yeah.
Like Jaguar Wright has been speaking since forever. The 2 security guards have been speaking since forever. These people have been speaking since forever. Kim Porter's death was a fucking mystery. Come on.
Right.
Come on. Mm-hmm. All these people surrounding Bad Boy Records are all gone. And it's like, that's how powerful he was. Where all these people could be speaking out and yet nothing happened to the man. Mm-hmm. And even to the point where literally when Cassie first came out, no one believed her. And it wasn't until the fucking video showed up, and shout out to the fucking security guy. Not too much of a shout out because you still didn't report it to the cops.
Right.
But the fact that you recorded it to bring it to your wife at home, and there's a video copy of it because of him. That's how it got leaked to the internet.
They wiped it, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Without that copy, Cassie, there would be people not believing Cassie at all. Which is the saddest part.
Yeah, so overall, like, this whole situation is just super disturbing, and I feel like it's only going to get worse from here with all of these, people that have been subpoenaed, and now they're going to be testifying, and I am just sitting here like, I can't handle this anymore. Like, just hearing the first part, I'm just like distraught. I'm disturbed. Like, I just don't know how someone could even think to do those things. Someone could even ask of those things, or even just so disgusting.
It's so disgusting. And it's just like to picture that someone could be that much of a monster. It's shocking.
You're a demon.
And to think that there's probably worse out there. Like, this guy learned it from somewhere.
Right. Mm-hmm.
This guy had all these people hyping up these Diddy parties. And I'm not saying that every people who hyped up Diddy parties were a participant of the freak-offs.
Right.
But there are a lot of people who not only knew of these things, but participated and benefited from them. Mm-hmm. So it's crazy to me to think that, wow, like, the fact that the fact that all this is coming to light just really shines a light on Hollywood.
It makes sense why Nicki Minaj married the shooter. She said, I can't trust nobody in this industry. Shit, I need to be safe.
I need my day one.
I need to be safe. Shit.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, honestly, yeah, because it seems like once you get to that type of level,
people are out to get you and like weird things start happening.
Weird
Things start happening.
It's crazy to think that like when you have that much money, you're that bored that you got to do all these like weird fucking sexual like things, because I just feel like rich people, they just got everything that they can get in this world, in this life. Like, you know, when you're a regular middle class hardworking person that just don't, you know, we just work regular life, we have regular lives, you really just dreaming. So your dreams keep pushing you to do things. You're so busy trying to achieve certain dreams and goals, whatever that looks like. You ain't got time to be thinking about fucking having some other man's semen going into your chest, rubbing it up on your shit, wearing a bandana on your face, you know, putting hot wax, baby oil. I mean, yeah, I
just feel like if it was consensual and that's different. But the fact that this was all just not consensual, this was all just fucked up. I don't know.
But that's what I'm saying. Like to the point where you're addicted, all you doing is just drugs, sex, party, it's just fucking weird, bro. Like, you're that bored of life. That goes to show you that money ain't shit. Money will not cure your problems. This is a prime example of that. He is the fucking hip-hop mogul, and he still couldn't fucking be happy with his own fucking life, that he had to go destroy all these people, have all these victims that have to live with trauma, PTSD, with a scar in their face, with consequences, and he's still not fucking happy.
I just, feel so bad just for like Cassie's health. Like everything that she endured, all the infections, like all that stuff, like that
abused.
Is just, I don't know. But I wanted to bring up how Gina, in an interview, she said that there would be times when, Diddy would abuse her. He would yell at her and say, "Oh, you're like Cassie, but bad. You're not good like Cassie. Like you'll never be Cassie. Like you're bad Cassie." And I was just like, ew, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, he was manipulative. That's how you get, that's manipulative tactics. You pin them against each other, compare them to each other, and then they'll be too busy hating each other. They won't even hate you, because it's the same thing.
That's what they did with Carisha, how they were arguing online. Like, why are you arguing with Carisha? Carisha, why are you and this girl arguing?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so ugly. I can't. So fucking ugly. But the whole situation is fucked up. I guess we just got to see how this plays out.
Pray for the victims. Pray for justice to be served.
Praying for justice to be served.
Speaking of justice, there's people already speaking how associates on Diddy's side is begging Trump to pardon Diddy.
Are you fucking serious?
Two things I gotta say to that. One,
oh my God.
This is already telling me y'all know he gonna lose. This is already telling me y'all know he gonna lose. Because why y'all asking for a pardon without a fucking verdict? Two. Now you laughing, awkward laughing, uncomfortably laughing.
No. Here.
And two, I forgot how many photos Trump and Diddy also had together. But let's not forget, Trump is also the same man that was next to Epstein.
It's just all getting worse.
And this is, you know what? We're not talking politics here, but
it's all connected, though.
But this is what people voted for.
This is all connected.
If he gets pardoned, this is what you voted for. Although I don't know if he'll necessarily pardon him, just because of the amount of, just would look really bad. It would look really bad. That's like asking Trump to pardon Epstein if he was still alive. I think people would fucking riot. You know what I mean? I feel like people would riot if like Diddy was pardoned. That's just saying that
You
he's
think
guilty.
so? Because the way people acting online is as if they want him to be. They really defending this fucking man.
Well, I will say that a lot of people are still, thankfully, a lot of people are still on Cassie's side. Thank God. But yes, there are people who are ignorant. So I don't know. I'm praying that, justice is served. I feel like it's just gonna get worse, and it's a lot. It is a lot for mental health, for people. This is very triggering conversations.
Very triggering, yeah.
And we didn't even get into the details here because you guys can find that on your own.
Yeah.
Mentioned a few, but you know what's crazy?
The details are very triggering.
Sad. It made me cry.
Yeah, it's too much. That's why I can't. Like, it's too much.
And to think, and you know what? I will say that I'm very proud of Cassie. Because it's incredible. And I said this before, but I'm just going to repeat myself. Because, to be that composed, I don't know if I could even be that composed. Like, to
which is why they were trying to fucking rile her up.
Yes. And she still stood stern, short, answered the defense very, whenever they try to, like, steer her a certain way, she snapped back, which was nice. It was nice to see. But there's a long way to go, and I don't know where it's gonna go from here. But
got a long way to go. Sorry, that was a good song. But you got,
yeah, man. So I don't know.
I guess we're gonna stand by and like hear how this plays out, because again, this has a long way to go, like Jesse had mentioned. If you guys have any thoughts, like definitely comment those thoughts below. If you have any thoughts on anything we said or anything you even want to add to the conversation, comment them below, because we always want to know what you guys think. Whether you agree or disagree, doesn't matter. We're open to having conversation. Is there anything you want to say?
No, I'd like to hear what you guys have to say. Your, like I said, your opinions, your thoughts. Definitely share this video. Give us a thumbs up. It'll help us out in the algorithm. And yeah.
So where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Instagram. That's JESSI.strange. And where can they find you, Tiana?
You guys can find me on Instagram at Randomania1. You guys can find us on Instagram at
The Petty Headquarters.
You guys can find us on all podcast platforms at
The Petty Headquarters.
We are also on YouTube at
The Petty Headquarters.
We release episodes weekly, so it is very simple. So tune in. Definitely tell us where you're from. We like to know where you guys are from. And yeah, with that being said, this was
your weekly. What? What?
All right, redo. So with that being said,
this
was your weekly. I keep saying this was our. Okay. All right, one more time. And with that being said, this was your weekly dose of mess.